The name is a religious name, actually, a Brazilian name, which means Iemanjá, Iemanjá. It's a goddess of the sea. And I think that's how I started to be really interested in the idea of a woman living in the water. I think there was a point when I was studying in Germany and I wanted to escape the studio space and escape some sort of like the wide cube idea of creating work. And I wanted to not have materials. I stopped painting at the time and I started working only with performances, and I wanted to have the less, things possible with me so I could travel. And the camera came in and the photography came in not as an interest so much about the photograph in the beginning, but more about recording an idea. After a while, I started missing sketching and painting because this is a pleasure you get instantly. So I went back into sketching and drawing, and they were first really small, and then they started growing, and then they became really big. When I have a white canvas on the wall, it's really about trying to think of a memory of something, of a landscape, and where I want to go. It's this excitement of creating the first brush stroke, because the first brush stroke, in a way, does dictate the painting. As I'm painting standing and I'm creating the drips, I start, trying to mirror them and create patterns. The drawing comes in almost to destroy this harmony again. I really work with all the layers and I don't hide them again. And that leads me somewhere else again. The cutouts that I started doing then, actually I have to admit that they were very influenced by my daughter. I have a little daughter and she was making cutouts at home all the time, and she was creating those little patterns that would repeat when you fold the paper and you unfold it, and then she would cut them again. So we were playing a lot at home with that, and then at some point I started making bigger ones because it was more fun. And then I think that thought of creating a rigid circle, but once you take it apart, it falls apart and it becomes all these organic shapes that you can compose, and somehow controlling this mass and making this mass become a composition. That is the fascination of it, I think. Painting is something very intimate. All those years that I didn't paint, I think I did mature the painting inside of me in a different way so that I could go back to it. I think all the paintings that I create, that's one painting, really, because it all goes towards something that I don't know yet.